even the closest people in my family, and no one ever started believing in me until I actually started doing it myself. And it took a lot of rejection to get there, and I think that goes with anything. You have to get rejected a million times, but it's that one person that says yes. That
the function.
Strike a pose, 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 pose.
Hey yo, what up? It's your boy Face from Flight School TV, and I'm here with Devin, one of Chicago's finest models out of the city. So, just to start things off, can you introduce yourself to the people?
Yeah. So my name's Devin. I'm 19 years old. I'm a model in Chicago. I've been modeling for a year and a half now.
Okay, so how did you get into modeling?
It was actually sort of an accident. So my friend had bought a nice camera and wanted to take pictures of me to practice. And then I posted those photos online, which had talented photographers contact me. Then I was working with photographers, then brands did. Then after brands contacted me, the ball just kept kind of rolling, and before I knew it, I was modeling. And I'd moved out here for it.
So where did you move from?
Originally from Gurnee, so like when I say Six Flags, everyone knows where that is. But so it's Lake Villa, which is a smaller town outside of it, really small hometown. For me, I just felt like there wasn't enough room there to grow, so I had to come out to the city. So I did that the month I turned 18. I got my own apartment.
Oh, that's pretty amazing. Well, yeah, a lot of people I know, like they leave those small towns,
yeah,
and the towns that's like way out the city,
right,
to get into the mainstream of cities like Chicago, New York, and California and stuff like that. So, but was there anybody in modeling before you? I know you said you got into it kind of by accident, but was there anyone that you used, like you looked at as like, man, you know what? Like once you started, you was like, that's the type of model I want to try to become.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of my role models are the 90s models. Like, I love Naomi Campbell, Claudia. There's so many amazing ones. I think for me, like, a modern-day model would be Tiana Parker. She came from nothing. She came from a small hometown. Like, she just worked at a restaurant. Then she started modeling, and she followed her dreams. You know, she's a little bit curvier like me, and she's got different features like me that aren't necessarily high fashion, but that's where we both want to be. Right. So, like, I've been following her on Instagram and, like, seeing her, like, blow up. Like, she just got signed to Wilhelmina in L.A. She's doing great. She's traveling back and forth to London. And, like, she came from a place where nobody thought she could do it, and she's doing it. So she's definitely my role model for that.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope. I'm gonna have to look into that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna definitely have to look into that and get familiar with that story. So, like, you kind of hinted onto it, like, but on a regular day, I'm curious. Do you, like, every day you get up, like, do you, like, put your makeup on, you get real dressed up just to go outside, or are you more so like the person that likes to just step outside and be cozy, like sweatpants, or is there like some type of balance?
No, I'll just be honest, I'm very extra. Like, I want to look good, I want to look perfect all the time. I feel like how I feel on the inside is very representative of how I look on the outside. So, like, if I don't feel good, I might not look good. I don't want that. If I always look good, I always feel good. So, like, I always want my outfits to look good. You know, maybe sometimes my hair is a little crazy, I won't lie about that. But for the most part, I try to be presentable.
Yeah, I mean, because honestly, that can lead to job opportunities.
And you never know who you're gonna run into.
Exactly.
Ever.
Exactly. And that is a true statement. Like, you look good, you feel good.
Right.
And that's a very true statement, because some people look over it like, nah, I just go outside any type of way. But I'll be like, man, when you put on a nice outfit and you know you're doing your thing that day, you kind of feel a little bit extra better.
Ah, you just feel yourself.
Yeah,
you got better energy.
You just walk with that confidence, like, yeah, I know I'm like shutting shit down right now.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, definitely. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. So what are some of your favorite brands to wear right now?
I think my favorite brand ever, I love streetwear. I mean, high fashion is great, but there's something about streetwear and how I feel more connected to Chicago and this community. Yeah. I love wearing Adidas. Like, when I'm in a full Adidas tracksuit and I've got my sneakers on, my NMDs, I just feel so good about myself. Like, I love wearing heels too, don't get me wrong, but like, that's definitely my favorite. I like Nike, but if I had to choose one, I would go with Adidas.
So what about clothing brands that like one of the clothing brands that you're like really into right now?
Mm-hmm.
It could be streetwear.
Yeah, I would say one of my favorites is downtown, and I know a lot of girls at the store is Topshop.
Oh yeah.
That one's really popular right now. I love that. Places I shop often. I mean, I love like H&M. Sometimes I go online and look at like smaller brands.
Yeah.
I really like thrift shopping. That's actually my favorite.
That's actually like the biggest trend right now.
Yeah.
Like, it started like a few years back,
Mm-hmm.
and it just never died out again.
Mhm.
Like everybody is in the thrift shop shopping for that vintage look.
Yeah.
Because like that's the thing right now. Like you can mix and match.
Exactly.
You can have some H&M pants with a thrift store like denim jacket.
That's one of a kind.
Yeah, you know, and walk out and people would be like, man, I wonder where that outfit came from.
Right.
But it's all about how you put it together.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty dope. So, like, what are some of the brands that you actually have worked with to this point? I know it's kind of early.
Yeah, it's definitely very early. I think for the most part, I've worked in very small, like, boutiques and stuff. I think one of the first ones was Divulgence, which is a lingerie company in Chicago. I've worked with some jewelry companies. I shot my first commercial last year. I've worked with Runico, Iridium. I did Wild and Out. So it's like everything like big that's starting to happen is definitely this year. Like this is all finally sort of starting. I'm very
Excited.
humbled. Yeah, humbled and excited for it. Yeah.
That's dope. And I'm glad to be part of the early process because I definitely see you taking off
Thank you.
very soon.
Thank you.
So, how was your experience on the Wild and Out? Like that's like a show that's been running for like 8 years now,
Yeah.
something like that, like 8 seasons or something like that.
Yeah, so what actually happened was the casting agent named Lala, she DM'd me on Instagram and asked me if I wanted to be on Wild and Out. And I was like, oh, wow, I'd never been on TV before or anything like that. So I responded to her right away. I sent her my measurements. She said she'd get back to me. The morning of, she tells me, she gets back to me very late, like, do you want to be on Wild 'N Out? And I was like, yeah. So I get all my stuff together. We go down to the stadium. There's like 8 or 9 other girls there. They're teaching us the dance. We're on stage. It's going to be in front of, I believe, 30,000 people.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was a lot of people. I had done performance, like theater, when I was younger, so I really liked being on stage. I liked the rush it gave me. But it was still very nerve-wracking because, to be honest with you, I had only watched the show maybe 3 or 4 times.
Right.
Yeah, so
I think a lot of us are like casual fans like that. If it's on, they might catch that episode, but I don't know a lot of people that's tuning in like every episode. But
right.
Yeah, so are you going into it, you kind of knew the gist of the show?
Yeah, I knew a gist of it. It was so much fun. Everyone in the cast was unbelievably friendly. Nick Cannon was a great guy. He made sure that all of us were very comfortable throughout the whole show. There was a fight on stage with one of the Wild 'N Out girls and another girl that had come up on the stage. So they started fist fighting on the stage and had to break up, and it was kind of embarrassing because Yo Gotti had just performed, so everybody was super excited. The crowd was going crazy, and then before you knew it, there were 2 girls on the ground fist fighting.
So they were 2 Wild 'N Out girls?
It was one Wild 'N Out girl, and another girl that came up from the fans, from the audience.
Right, from the audience.
Yeah, and just came up to her, bumped her, and then immediately started a fight.
Wow, that's sad. but it's a dope experience that you got.
It was a great experience.
I mean, just taking it all in. Wait, I don't want to skip ahead. So I want to stay with the Wild 'N Out thing for a second. So do the process of them choosing their models, is that based on strictly looks, or does your social media aspect play a part in that?
I think I would say that social media presence is an important part of it, because all the girls that I worked with had a great social media presence. How they dress, how they represented themselves, like their hobbies, everything about them was interesting. And
Right.
I don't think any of them had less than 10,000 followers on Instagram. So they're all like pretty great. Yeah. I know that she had told me that she looked through the hashtag like Chicago models to find them, because when they go to different places, especially when they're doing like a special episode, they want it to be strictly people from that place.
Right.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. So the question that I was just about to ask before I got ahead of myself, I wanted to ask, like, with it being so early in your career, like just taking it all in, like how does it feel?
Sometimes it's very scary.
Yeah.
Like, I just think about where I wanted to be when I think about where I was 2 years ago. I never would imagine that I was living in the city and to be so invested in a community and growing and having people support and believe in me. Like, I'm living my dream right now. So
Yeah.
now I know what I'm dreaming in this moment. I'm going to have a year, 2, 3 years from now. So it's very exciting.
Yeah, that sounds dope. So we're doing a lot of back and forth right now, but questions are popping up in my head as we continue.
Mm-hmm.
So before you, like you said, you stumbled into this.
Right.
What was your aspirations before this?
I wanted to go to college and be a therapist. I was always really great at listening to people and helping people with their problems, and I thought that helping other people is what I want to do, like in my heart and my soul. So I wanted to go be a therapist or a psychologist. I was going to go to school for 4 years. I'm still in school, but just part-time right now because I'm pursuing other things in my life.
Obviously a lot going on, which is a good thing.
It's a great thing, yeah.
So, like, the question that I'm really wondering is how competitive is the modeling field?
Oh, it's insane.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I mean, it's just beautiful women competing against each other, and it's all in the hands of other people. It's like when you're signed over to an agency, they decide how you're going to look, how much you're going to weigh, how much, you can post or can't post, who you're going to work for. So all of that is extremely competitive because you have to make sure that you are on point all the time. You have the right looks, you're working with the right people, you're getting branded and marketed the right way, because if you're not, you can fall off the face of the earth and nobody would know because there's always someone else to replace you.
They feel like, there's the next person up.
So it's like, what makes you stand out?
Okay, but do you ever feel pressure to, like, one up the next person? Like, I see a lot of that on social media, specifically where if a girl takes this type of revealing photo, do you feel pressure to do things like that to get your followers up or to get people more engaged with your page? Or how does that work? Like, or are you just like, if I feel like posting this, I'm just gonna post it?
Yeah, I think it's more like that for me. Like, I'm very confident in myself and very open. I like to wear what I want to wear. That I don't necessarily judge any woman if she wants to be fully covered up or fully naked. Right. I do think there's a competition there. However, for modeling, I wouldn't say the only aspect of that is if you're really concerned about how many likes you're gonna get. Of course, a naked woman is probably gonna get more likes. Let's just be real here. Yeah. But it doesn't necessarily pressure me. I post what I want to post. If I want to post a picture of me on the beach, I will. If I want to post a picture of me in a nun's outfit, sure, I'd do that too.
So do you go crazy on Halloween when it comes to dressing up?
Yeah, I was Catwoman this year.
And you one of those people that go all out. Right?
Yeah, I go all out. Oh, absolutely.
That's dope. Dope. So, like, being in a modeling field, like, what are some of the challenges that you face that people, maybe even your followers or some aspiring model that hasn't even though we're caught on early to your early success, but what's some of the things that you can speak to like let people know, like, hey, look, be on the lookout for this, because this is a red flag?
They're always going to tell you how you should look. That one thing I'm always told is that I need to lose weight. I've been told that by every single agency I've almost signed to, I would say, every brand I've worked for.
Like, in person, like, you don't seem like you have any weight to lose.
Right, but in the modeling industry, the thing is especially for high fashion, it's not about having curves, it's about being a clothes hanger. You're modeling the clothing, there shouldn't be any attention to you. So that's why plus size modeling is so new right now. Like, right now, obviously I'm skinny, but I am considered a plus size model because of the inches on my hips and my breasts. That's what it is. That's the reality of the modeling world.
Wow.
So I'm always told, like, I was modeling for this Russian lingerie company. They're opening their first store in the United States, and it just so happened that the designer herself was there. She was absolutely horrified by my hip size. She was, they made me, like, cover up. Like, you can get shamed, you can get treated like shit, and you have to suck it up. You have to deal with it because you're there to be the model. You're there to represent their brand and their company. You don't have a voice or a say necessarily in situations like that.
Wow. And that's not something that I would think of because, I mean, especially like 2018, 2019, it's like, it's all the most famous Instagram models, and you see models everywhere with curves.
Right.
It's like the trending thing right now. People are getting surgeries done to have these type of curves.
Absolutely.
So it's still that stigma of like you need to be absolutely like a waist zero.
That's the fight that's happening right now. Is that, you know, not too long ago, the look was stick thin. People are coming out and saying, hey, like, I want to see curves. Like, I want to see beautiful, natural women, women that have had things done. I want to see all of that. I don't want to just see the same girl that's a size 0, because that's not attainable for everybody. A lot of women have curves. And so that's sort of, I would say, the struggle going on right now, is that there's a lot of curvy and plus size women breaking into the industry, but because they're breaking into it, it's so much harder for them and how they're treated, respected, valued. It's definitely like a kind of fight situation right now.
Yeah, and so it seems as if like they're kind of late to the party.
Yeah.
Like what's really going on? Like it doesn't matter like what type of guy you are. I mean, it's everywhere. Like literally, like I think it started a little bit before the Kardashians, but with the Kardashians, it's just...
Well, it was a huge influence. Yeah, absolutely.
Like, huge. Like, everything is bigger and curvy.
Right.
So that's actually surprising to hear that the people that's actually signing the checks haven't caught on to that fact.
I've always been told, like, if you just lost another 20 pounds, you know, you would be able to do this or this. I almost walked New York Fashion Week last year, and they wanted me to lose 35 pounds. I don't even know where I could lose 35 pounds. So it was really heartbreaking for me, because this is when I was really coming to the reality that, like, wow, there are women out here starving themselves, like, keeping themselves stick thin just to be able to book these jobs and these shows. It's almost, it's painful, like, it's degrading.
Yeah, it has to be. I mean, especially when you are in an industry that's based on you having confidence.
Right.
Then you have people tearing down your confidence.
Right.
So, I mean, how does that work?
Well, that will always be there. I mean, for anybody that has any sort of presence, whether they're a celebrity or, you know, a socialite, the more you get into the spotlight, the more people want to say bad things about you, make things up, critique you. So, like, that I was already pretty prepared for, that was the reality of the situation.
Right.
But it's still hard, because you want people to accept and love you.
Okay, so... a question that I always wondered is, like, is it hard to be in a relationship being a model? Because I mean, you would literally have to be with the most secure man possible. Because if my wife is like on Instagram or in magazines and everybody else can see what I see, I'm going to feel some type of way. So, I mean, I know you're young, but have you experienced, like, insecurities in relationships because of modeling?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I think for a lot of people, it's a two-way street. You have to be open about communicating and what you're comfortable and what you're not comfortable with. Like, don't date a woman that you can't handle posting things on Instagram or having men try to come with her, come be with her. Like, don't be with a woman you can't handle. And vice versa. I think that women that are in the modeling industry or women that get a lot of attention, they need a man that's very confident in himself and knows that that's his woman at the end of the day. She's going home to him and she's going to be respecting him. So that's all it is for me, is just talking about boundaries and how I am as a person and my morals and my values. And if you're going to question that, in the end, it won't work out.
So you moving from Gurney to Chicago, and you've been doing the modeling thing for a little time now. How do you feel about the modeling scene specifically in Chicago?
I would say, honestly, that there isn't really one. You know, New York's look is like tall and skinny and sort of very high fashion, very odd. LA is curvy or it's fit and blonde. In Chicago, there really is no look here, which is such a great opportunity because women from all over can come and say, I want to model or I want to be an influencer or a blogger, and there's no look for it. Anyone can do it.
Yeah, that's pretty. That's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
so I wouldn't really say there's like quite a scene here. There's small ones, but even then, those girls are being flown out to New York, LA, Miami. Right.
So, how do you feel about the fashion industry in Chicago?
Mm-hmm.
Like we spoke about the modeling, but how do you feel about the entire fashion scene? Because it's growing at a rapid
It
pace
is.
right now with
It is.
Kanye, with Don C, Jasper, you got Zoe, you got Fat Tiger, you got so many companies you got St. Alfred, RSVP, Notre, and all these companies in Iridium are doing such big things in the fashion world, and it seems like the industry in Chicago, the fashion industry, is just exploding. And I feel like you probably got perfect timing to get involved
absolutely.
with it. So how do you feel about the fashion scene?
I love that it's growing. I think Chicago is very unique, and I think it's small enough to where everyone can be connected and help each other out. You know, everybody has a vision, everybody has a dream and an idea, and when you come together with a group of collectives and you put all these ideas together, you can make something great and phenomenal, something that goes much larger than Chicago, which is why I have such special love for Chicago, because I am connected in a community and people know each other and love each other and want to help each other succeed. It's not like that in LA. It's not like that in New York. I mean, I think this is very special. Now that we have so many talented people on the rise and getting bigger and bigger, it could be something Chicago has never seen before.
Yeah.
It's very exciting.
We actually might hit a curve and it might not be looking back. It might be over.
Right.
So what type of events would you like to see come to Chicago?
I love
As in the fashion industry.
In the fashion industry, I love like just opening events. Like, I'm sure. Did you go to the Modern Notoriety event?
No, I don't think so.
Well, that one was great, and they were sponsored with Puma, and like that event was just so great. There's so much energy. There's over 1,000 people there. They had great performances, great music, great drinks. Like everyone was just there together, meeting each other. The artwork up was great. Like I haven't gone to I would say a lot of artistic parties, even fashion parties outside of Chicago. And because it's all relatively small here, I don't have a lot of experience on it, but I know the potential that it could be.
Yeah, so like what are some things that you heard of in other states and other places that you wish were like, man, I wish that event would come to Chicago?
You know, those red carpet events or pulling up in a limousine. There's thousands of people there. There's every single famous person you could think of. It's like a dream. It's, you know, it's high end, it's beautiful. I think for me especially, I'm very attracted to like that vintage glamour, which is earlier I was talking about like 90s Naomi Campbell, Tyra Banks, Claudia Schiffer. Like I love that 90s glam, and I think a lot of that is still represented just in different ways in like Hollywood and LA. So like I dream of that. I get very excited about that.
So like where if you can say this is where I would want my career to trend towards, what would that end goal be?
I think that's always changing for me. When I first started modeling, I was told specifically that because I was a size 6 in dresses that I could only ever do bikini and lingerie. So for a long time my goal was to be the best in swimwear, to be the best in lingerie. But now that I've broken into streetwear and I've had people really listen to me and talk to me and see my vision and see that I can actually do it, now my dream is evolving to where I'd like to be doing fashion more than I'd like to be doing swimwear. So it's always evolving, it's always changing with my perspective as it gets bigger.
So you can see yourself with a clothing line farther down the line.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, that's amazing. We're going to definitely keep an eye out for that. And is there anything that we didn't touch on that you do want to speak on? I know you enjoy helping a lot of people and things of that nature, which is pretty amazing. Is there anything that we didn't touch on that you want to make sure that, hey, when you guys tell a story about me, I just want this part to be remembered?
Well, I would love to just send a message, you know, to whoever's watching or listening, that I had a ton of people tell me that I couldn't do this or laugh at me or think I was crazy, even the closest people in my family, and no one ever started believing in me until I actually started doing it myself. And it took a lot of rejection to get there, and I think that goes with anything. You have to get rejected a million times, but it's that one person that says yes, that one person that takes a chance on you that changes everything. So that's what I would say, is to keep believing in yourself, keep working hard.
I mean, honestly, what better way to end the show than that?